Hello, folks. This is Siddharth. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Automate with Siddharth. That's me. In this channel, we usually discuss about automation testing, Maven, Git, Jenkins, DevOps, right? SDET. Mostly, most of the sessions are on SDET. I do share a lot of interview questions along with answers, or how to deal with product companies' interview sessions. So, stay tuned and let's start with today's session.
To record questions?
Yeah, I have started the recording. So let's
Mhm.
start. Let's start with a very common one. Okay. So, how many years of total experience you have?
I have 14 plus years of experience.
14. So, can you tell me one scenario where you have implemented a new QA process in your organization?
Yes. So in my current with my current client Inspire,
Mm-hmm.
um, when I joined the company for I started the legacy program Dunkin brand,
Mm-hmm.
and the process was not in place. Basically, there were a lot of production issues and having contractors working with us, so there was no proper communication channel. A lot of things where you messed up, and my responsibility which was assigned to me was basically to make sure that the process is in place, and the production issues are cut down, and we
Mm-hmm.
have smooth releases. So initially I started working with the team, and based on the discussions with the team, I came up with a plan, like what is the gap, and I built up a agile process. And I started with I built up a QA scrum board, which actually helped align us with the
Mm-hmm.
communication and the clear discussion between the team and the with the reporting part, which actually helped us to with the proper team alignment, uh, communication channel, and whatever the work team has been doing, it everything started falling up in places. And I think that's just the high level, like what I did, and it actually
So,
helped the.
what was the process change done? Can you please one?
Yeah, so it was basically initially I built up a QA processes, based on the agile. Like I had a separate scrum board, QA scrum board, where all the QA related activities were tracked separately from the project board. And
Mm,
whatever the team were, the gaps they had, basically there were a lot of misalignment. There was a lot of stories, like in the within the agile the team was working on, but there was QA was already pushed back, right?
mm,
So I have to make sure that
mhm.
whenever the team is sorry, I'm trying to just sorry, like I'm going into a very bad story part what I prepared earlier.
So that's fine. You the same answer you can give. You can add a couple of points on how you have added some metrics to it. Okay, for example, in our team, we don't calculate ROI, right? Automation ROI maybe, right? So you
Hmm.
have implemented a process where the ROI needs to be calculated before considering automation, right?
Okay, since I'm giving a big story right now to you, right? Because but how can I make it like a small crunch one, like.
So for you, the process change is basically creating a QS Scrum board. Okay, rest of all the things are just supporting. But the main QA process step is creating a Scrum board. You can make it more in depth. Okay, so typical QA processes are implementing new QA processes is like implementing shift left, right? Asking your QAs to get involved during the design diagram phase also, right? So
Correct.
when
All those, yeah, all
uh,
those I did, but how should I explain? I'm telling a very big story to you right now,
for
and
example, if somebody asks me, I can put it in this way that okay. So anyway, we need to put it in star format first, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
so you can start like when I joined our organization, we have seen that though our test cases are well written, but still we find a lot of product issues. And when I track back, we got to know that the business requirement document that we are getting are not properly written, right? So what I have done, I have started involving QA reviewing the BRT. So
Mm,
QA will be involved from the start of the process, and if we find any gaps, we can also identify over there. So developer will not waste their time, right, on
mm.
means on development or some features which are already missed, and then QA will identify. So I have enhanced the process by involving QA in the BRD document review. That is one. Another one, like when I joined the organization, usually when we one feature is done, we used to send a casual email like, okay, I have done the testing, this many pass, this many fail, right? But later on we figured out that, okay, in that email the major call outs, any defect which has been raised but developer told that it's fine, we can release with it, those things are not mentioned, right? So I have started a process where in the sign off email we need to strictly mention what are the major call outs, right? And if there is any defects which is open but we got confirmation from developers that we can release, or maybe from manager that we can release with it, then those defects should be properly mentioned, right? So that if tomorrow it will be a bigger defect, then you will not get more escalations around it, right? So those things. And also you have started attaching automation test reports, because by that you
Mm,
are also giving importance to both manual and automation, right? So in your sign
mm,
off email those defects are also part of it. That is one,
mm,
again, a process level enhancement, correct?
mm,
Some resource level enhancement also you can say, like, okay, I have added a process where every QA in my team, manual or automation, whoever is there, right, they need to cross collaborate and arrange a session every month. For example, I have 5 QA, they will rotate. This month one QA will take a session on anything they have learned new, okay, and
mm,
the same process will continue, correct? Next month some another QA, and we will record all those session and keep it at our knowledge base, so that somebody new, when somebody new will join, it would be easy for him or her to learn about the things that we work,
mm.
right? Those are again resource planning or maybe training, those kind of
Correct, correct.
scenario, right? For you it is a good one because you
No,
have.
yeah, this is what I have done. So this is the good way to, I think, say whether I'm putting a big story, so I should not do that. Okay.
Makes sense, right?
Hmm.
Cool.
And I
uh,
should start with, I'll go over your recording again to.
Yeah, I'm recording it this one. Okay, so we do
Okay.
have the recording for it. That's a good thing. Okay, now let's discuss about the next question. Okay, can you tell me one defect that you have identified and for which you may have got appreciation from your leadership team also?
Yes. So I was part of one of the project in between while I was working with Dunkin was a payment vendor when we were changing our payment vendor from 𝗲𝗏 to Pfizer. We were moving it. So
Mm,
in one project came in between, and I was actually working with the team, towards the deliverables, and I was testing one of the scenario
mhm,
where I have to actually, while I was placing an order using a payment type Apple, I was making a payment using a Visa card, and our application is like our like flow. The flow goes with, like, when we place an order, it goes
mm,
to through a system, IDP system, and then it get processed, and then it goes to the payment vendor. So
mm,
while I was actually testing that, after placing an order, it goes to Freedom Pay. When I was checking it in the Freedom Pay portal, like how the data is going through, like what, validating the transaction, I saw that transaction was duplicated twice.
mm,
And I thought maybe it could be like, one time error or something. Then I did another transaction. I saw with another payment method, same happening, and tried with different scenarios and data and everything. I
mm,
keep that. And then I went through down to the list. I saw that, some of the folks who were working on this, the projects, I've seen their records. There was duplicate scenario, records showing up in the portal from the last 2 days, but it was not reported. So I actually raised the defect and brought this, to my
mm,
manager. And because I was not part of the other project which was dependent on this, and this was escalated. And after like prioritizing, it came out to be that it's a very big issue, because the upcoming release could not go because it is basically impacting, it's something related to payment, and this would make a major a major impact to the upcoming release. So the release was on hold, and it was basically as
mm,
dig a dig dive into it to see like what's going on. After it was fixed, and then it was released, and I was really appreciated by everyone from the team, from a manager and even upper management, for bringing in attention on time, so that way,
mm,
before going into a major issue, it was escalated earlier.
mm, mm, mm. Okay, okay.
So should I make it again small, or this is okay?
Yes, yes, small. So
Okay.
basically, it should be in for 3, 4 lines. Okay, one line basically on problem statement. Your answer is correct. Just crisp it because they may lose track in between.
Yeah, that's the okay. So
Hmm?
how can I do that? Like, should I use ChatGPT? or something
Why
to
ChatGPT? You just talk in 3 lines. Now, what's the problem statement? What's the defect? And what's the impact of it? That's it.
okay, that's it. ठीक,
Don't
okay,
need to provide any extra story around it. If they are
okay,
interested, then you can expand it later on, right?
okay,
So the initial answer should always be crisp. And if you feel like, okay, they are asking more questions, then expand it.
okay, I'll do that.
Makes sense, right?
Mm.
Okay. Can you tell me a scenario where you have identified, means your team has missed one defect. Okay, there is a defect leakage, and for which there is a substantial GMX impact also involved, means a lot of financial impact has involved. And your team has decided that, okay, the QA team has not done a good job, so we need to reduce the workforce. So how you will handle this scenario?
Reduce the workforce, like take the team members out from the project.
Yeah,
You
that's what I mean by reducing
okay?
workforce,
Oh,
right?
okay. So
Hmm.
so yeah, there has been well, I think I have not I have faced this scenario not clear, like not even, but okay.
Hmm.
Um,
Just assume if you face this one in your
if I
next,
have faced this, okay.
then what you
So okay, so I'll try to first, if I'll first try to deep dive, find the root cause analysis, like do an RCA, like what's actually whether this issue is basically
Hmm.
of by the QA team, or it's basically a requirement gap or something from the dev side. So
Hmm.
even if it's from the QA side, then I'll try to
Hmm.
provide the details, like if it is something a miss from us or not. If it is a miss, I'll accept it, and then whatever, like I'll do a process improvement, so that way we don't come across this issue again in future, and
Hmm.
try to
Yes.
I'll take it as a positive and try to build up work on this, so that way in future we don't face this type of issue, and come up with a better process improvement on this side, and try to educate the team parallelly, so that way we don't come across this type of issue. So
Okay. Okay. So do you guys calculate coverage for your
test coverage.
Yes.
Yes, we do calculate our test coverage. So we try to map with our, our requirements with the test cases, to see that we have proper coverage of the manual test cases versus automation as well. And we
What is
make,
the coverage? This much answer is enough. So what is the
okay.
coverage you usually expect in your project, or you have usually seen in your project?
So our test coverage is 95%.
95%. And what is the coverage in automation usually?
Automation is 70%.
Okay, automation
Yeah.
is 50%, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because everything cannot be automated. So it's basically what is basically can be automated, and part of the regression suite that is basically covered and upcover, and the new scenarios, new enhancements. It actually takes some time to be added to the suite, because we want to make sure that the functional flows are working fine in the upcoming releases, and the entire, like whatever the epic has been completed and it's stable, and then they are moved to the automation team, so that way the team can start working on those and make it part of the regression suite.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Okay, can you tell me how, let assume your automation you are executing from last 3 months, that but there is not a single defect that has been identified from your
Hmm.
automation, right? And your management will say that, okay, look, you guys are running these things, but there is not a single defect identified from automation, so there is no ROI. It's difficult to calculate ROI because we are not getting any defects. So is it even worth to continue investing time into automation, or we should just shut down?
Correct. So in that case, what I'll do, I'll try to set up a meeting with the functional team, and
Uh-huh.
with with our automation team, to see what coverage we are having and what is there from manual. Try to correlate both of them, and see if
Uh-huh.
we are having any gap in our automation test case. It whether it's properly aligned with the functional test cases, and we'll try to map those, and whether our test cases are basically what exactly needed, that way we could catch the defect. So I'll try to do comparison and see and identify the gap, and
Hmm.
then I'll try to make any changes if needed, because definitely if
So
the
here,
functional
you need to stop here. So here you can add one more thing, okay, which is important, that automation is not always finding defects, right? Rather than we are making sure that things are not breaking.
yeah, but
Correct?
automation find defects also.
No, it's not the end goal of automation to find defects always. So basically, automation's main goal is because there are many automation suite where they don't find defects. Okay, so that's pretty obvious because there could be reason there is no feature has been introduced, right? There could be many reason, or maybe the application is pretty stable. For us also it happens. We don't find many. For example, in our project also we don't find a lot. But why we still keep it? Because that helps us in the regression, right? So if a manual
Mm,
person sits and do, because you cannot say that, okay, nothing is coming, stop manual testing. You cannot do that, right? Somebody will run it, correct?
mm,
A small feature change also, somebody will run it. So that time you are saving. So end goal of automation is not finding defects. Okay, never.
mm,
End goal of automation is always regression more regression focus. So existing things are not breaking, right? That is the
correct.
major thing we focus when we write a regression, usually. Okay.
Mm,
So now testing end goal is finding defects. Okay, so
mm.
people always get confused on this. Okay, manual testing always gives you the highest amount of defects. The reason is
Yeah,
that
that's true.
because they are the person who look at the application for the first time,
Yeah, but the
right?
management doesn't understand. They feel like
Yeah. So
why
that's why
the
you need to
yeah.
explain it. That don't get confused with manual and automation. That automation give you 10 to 20 bugs. Okay, automation can give you bugs for sure, but it is also helping us in running the regression, right? Because you
Mm,
can say like our regression is 300 test case. It will take 4 days for somebody to run it,
mm,
right? And that once our developer push the code, it will take 4 days to get to know if anything is broken or not. And by the time maybe the issue is in production. But if we have automation, within 2 3 hours you will get to know if everything is fine or something is broken.
mm.
You're getting the
Okay,
point,
I
right?
got it. Got it.
So it is saving time. It is making your release cycle faster,
Got it. So I'll
right?
include 2 points. One positive, like, okay, I'll try to see the
Hmm.
coverage if anything, and then second point that whether it's more used for regression tests, for regression purpose to save time. So
Yes,
to reduce the
yes,
manual effort. Okay.
yes. And put this point clearly that end goal is always not finding defects, right?
End goal is not finding defects. I'll do that.
Correct. Okay, cool. Now let's move further. So, do you guys run your automation suite from pipeline? CI/CD?
Yes, we do run from pipeline. So it's basically configured and the nightly jobs are run
Mm.
and the reports are shared with the team by not early morning, but within like if it looks fine, then it is sent to the required team members that about the reports. But if there is any issue or defect, then
Mm.
they will be called out in the report very clearly, and and then the team will start working on those. And sometimes if they need extra time, the tickets are also created for the automation team to track it out.
Okay, okay. Just give me a minute.
Anything else should I include in this one?
No, sorry, Renu, I just got lost. I got one.
Oh,
The
no, no problem. No.
so what did you say? Can you just repeat again once?
Yeah, so basically the nightly jobs we use CI/CD
Those,
and
those points are pretty much good enough. Though those one is very good answer.
yeah,
And
and
this length is also pretty less, right? Don't try to give additional information. This
yeah,
length is
so
perfect. Okay.
okay, okay,
1 to 2 lines, 3 lines max. Okay, answer
okay.
should be wrapped up. If
Mm-hmm.
possible, do talk about build, deploy, test a bit. If he asks you, okay, can you explain?
Build, deploy, test.
If
Okay.
he asks you more, then explain build, deploy, test means how developer push the code, then it get build, right? Then it get deployed into QA, then your automation trigger. Once your automation trigger is successful, if everything is fine, then it will automatically get deployed into UAT. In UAT, again, another automation suite will run. If that suite got passed, then it will get deployed into prod. So there are two pre-checks basically, one in QA environment, one in pre-prod, then pre-prod.
Correct. And this is basically when the new builds are, when pushed to the environment,
Whenever
separate
developer
environment.
make any change into the code,
Changes?
this
Correct.
process will continue.
Continue. And the reports, that is a nightly job which is scheduled. Yeah.
Yes. So nightly job would be mostly your regression. Okay.
Regression, that is the reports part. Yeah,
Right. That is the
automation.
regression. But this one I'm talking about is mostly on your smoke. Right.
Yeah, build
Right.
pipeline. Yeah.
But in some project, we keep both smoke and regression part of pipeline. Depends on how long the regression is taking.
Co-
Because whenever developer pushing the code, we want the
Correct. Smoke.
runtime should be as less as possible. If my
Correct.
regression is running for 9 hours, then it doesn't make sense, right? That's why we need to create a smoke. But our
Correct.
regression and smoke combinedly taking 1 hour, fair enough.
Hmm.
We keep everything in the pipeline. Okay. You're getting the point, right? How to take the call.
Yeah, I got this one.
It
Yeah.
depends on the length of how long it is running. So talk about explain this process properly, okay? And tell them that you have set up alarms on it. Alarms means notification, okay? So if anything fails, everyone will be get triggered, right? So a email will be triggered, and who will be the on call from the QA? He needs to check on that. What was the issue? Is it a feature issue or automation issue? So that it would be easier, right?
Okay. And how do we check this alarm notifications through
Not
Jenkins
email,
only?
email notification in terms of email, Slack, anything, right? But
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
say email, that would be safe enough for you. Slack also you can say. Slack notification is very easy.
Slack email, and I think from Jira also we can do. We have added notifications. I have added, so that way the team gets notified if anything. I'll say email on Slack, because
Yeah.
I know I have used Jira also by tagging the team, so that way they get notified if any new
Hmm.
issues are coming up. But I'm not sure about automation, so it's the yeah.
Or just this much is notification. Say anything if you want
It's
to.
okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
But yeah, but one notification you should talk about. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this should be fine. And add one more point I forgot. Blocker. Blocker means let assume your QA environment automation failure happened, right? Maybe the pass rate is less than 80, less than 90, or something fell from the smoke. Then it will block the pipeline. It will not let it proceed further.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is a very important step in pipeline, because if it is not blocking, then your automation is not doing anything, in fact. Okay.
So what should I say? Like,
You should
can
say
you?
like, okay, we have put check also. For example, if our anything fails from our smoke, then usually our pipeline gets blocked. It will
Okay.
not continue. It will not get deployed. For example, if something fails in QA, it will not deploy in UAT anymore.
Exactly. Okay.
Stop over there. Okay. Makes
And who
sense.
has done all this setup in the pipeline? It is basically the DevOps team will take care of it, right? We work with them and they are the one.
You better say that DevOps team is taking care of it. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Or else they will ask you a lot of questions from the CI/CD, which doesn't make much sense for you, right? So
Oh,
better to keep it in this way, right?
okay.
That would make more sense to me. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
So now, have you ever written, or maybe you have gotten big escalation, right, on defect, right, on some S defect or something? Then usually we write a proper document, right? We call it as an RCA, the root cause analysis steps we write, and then we write what actions to be taken in future. Have you ever part of writing this kind of document?
Yeah, I have written this type of document, like as part of
Can
our
you tell me
standard
some of the
process.
major component of it? Any major component?
Uh, priority, priority of the defect. Sorry, I don't remember on this one now,
No
but I
worries,
have.
no worries. So basically, in this RCA document, first you need to define what was the root cause analysis, right?
Hmm.
Means where the logs you have found, what was the timestamp, right? Is it impacted the front end or back end? Who is the developer responsible to fix it? What was the where the retest has been happened, right? Then the next action item you should write that this test case should be part of your automation anyway, any cost, right? Because something failed means probability it may fail again in future, right?
Hmm.
So immediately make it part of your automation suite, so it will run every day and you will make sure that everything works fine, correct? Third thing, you will make sure that this one perfectly tagged as an defect. So usually what we do, the major defects that we found on some test case, we sometimes add a group tag to it also, okay, that those are vulnerable areas, correct? So that is also one thing we do. Group tag, you remember we have learned in the automation,
Yeah,
smoke regression, right?
right.
Sometimes we do manage in that way too. Okay. And apart from that, what you will do, you will kind of take a session with your team. Okay. Arrange a session with your team to explain that what was the RCA, what was the issue, so that when they will write a new test case for another feature, they will consider these scenarios too.
Mm.
You're getting the point, right? Or else it
Mm-hmm.
may miss, right? You will write the COC, everybody will forget that, correct? So take a session, make sure they all are aware of it. Why? Because forwarding email sometimes doesn't work. People don't read it in depth, right? But if you take a session, then they will be more attentive on that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We do that a lot. Okay, whenever there is a big defect, we just assemble
Yeah,
everybody, developer,
correct,
manager, everyone, take a proper session, right?
correct.
We involve developers also, because if QA means, then developer will consider, right?
Oh yeah, everybody's there. QA
Everybody
developers
should
both.
be
Yeah.
there when we have discussing about the
So
about
the
the.
starting point for this is the way you have mentioned is like from a start technique point, star method.
Hmm.
I'll what I'll do. I'll start up with a meeting with the developers.
No, developer meeting is the end one, so that you will make sure everybody is aware of it,
Uh-huh.
right? First, you will write that what was the RCA, right? Front end,
Hmm.
back end, who is the developer, who fixed, the retest has been happened or not. All those things will be done first, right?
Hmm.
Then you will write about how exactly you are going to take action. So you will add it to the automation shoot, right? So that
Okay.
your execution happens.
So first thing will be so RC is basically first we'll identify the root cause analysis, like who is what is causing the issue. It's been by the development or QA team based on and the analysis. Then you
So
will just
RCA will see RCA will not kind of point out maybe developer QA, but it will definitely mention which area it has impacted, the front
which
end,
area,
and
front
the
and back end.
right, where exactly the issue is and who has fixed it.
Hmm.
Okay, because if somebody want to know more about it, he can reach out to that POC
Hmm.
because he is the right person to explain, right? Who has
Correct.
fixed it, right? Rather than a
Hmm.
QA, who has fixed it is the very best person to explain what
Hmm.
went wrong. Okay, so mention his name so that everybody will reach out to. I usually do that. Okay,
Hmm.
whenever I fix something, I always write my own document. I mention my name so that because I always feel like who has fixed is the right person to discuss.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
that's the best knowledge you can get, right? Then you
Hmm.
mention, okay, what next step not to repeat it again and how to engage everybody into it, right? So that it will not happen again.
Hmm. Got it.
Cool, cool. Makes sense, right?
Hmm.
Last question on it. Uh, Tell me the exact difference between a test strategy, and a test plan.
Correct. Okay. So test plan is basically a document which has all the information about the overall project. It could be a
Uh,
master test plan, it could be a test plan, basically sprint-based test plan, right? Which will have all the information about the project, about the scope, about the timeline, schedules, and everything. Test strategy is basically is also it's included in the part in the test plan document as a sub part. But sometimes some based on some like some teams they prepare test strategy as a separate document where they
mm,
will include a like high level project scope, timelines, who are the team members, and what are the the what type of testings will be conducted, and what is the ongoing project deliverables and everything in in a shorter form from the test plan. So it
mm,
depends from company to company. We prefer preparing a master test plan which
mm,
has a test strategy included in it as a sub part of it.
mm. Okay, okay. So a crisp one, okay. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, test strategy is usually org specific. Test plan, project specific. Every project may have a separate test plan, correct? But test strategy overall would be remain same for the org. A typical example, my
Mm-hmm.
test strategy will say that no matter whatever project you are going through, automation should be part of it. That is a test strategy, correct? Whatever you execution you are testing you are doing, localization should be part of it,
Mm-hmm.
accessibility should be part of it. This is a strategy we are.
Strategy.
Correct. Test plan can be different. For this project, accessibility could be different. Maybe this is
Mm-hmm.
video, so I will make sure my captions are being enabled. Right. So if so, the test plan would be different. Now it is for writing, then the Blairy support would be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. For blind people, that support would be there. Tabs should be
Correct.
working.
Correct.
Correct. So those are the things we need to properly decide. So test plan will always project specific. Test strategy is org specific.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
say
Very
like this org specific. Yeah, I'll use this term org specific.
and give this exact example. It makes sense. You're getting the point, right?
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
we do it, but sometimes we don't put it in right way.
Yeah, I'll do. I'll go over the recording again and I'll format it accordingly. Yeah, with this.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool then. This much is enough, I guess. Just
Yeah, no, I think it's a good good one. So that way, how much I talk to you, it will be more like, that fear and those things
yeah.
will like, get clarified
And
and
the best part, what means it's not like everything what I'm saying is about something I know or you don't know. It's about different organization gives us different perspective.
Correct.
right? This process may not be relevant for some another organization. That is pretty fair enough, correct? But
Mm.
we should put things in a very crisp way so the person who is listening to you will understand that your communication skills are good, right?
Yeah.
And you are a person who is mixing tech and process properly.
Mm.
Okay, that is important. That's why I told you mention front end or back end. If you just say you're getting the point, right? So that's why you need to give your answers in a proper blend of tech plus process.
Mm.
You're getting the point, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.